Okay, we'll be doing question 1 ACE and 2 EGI. All right, let's solve it. To be honest, I want to do it by graphing, and I want to use it by using a graphing calculator. Just so you can see how it works. X squared plus x minus 6. We have x squared plus x minus 6. And this is our parabola. And our roots occur here and here. So y is equal to 0 at x equals minus 3 and x equals 2. Let's graph another value. Let's do C. X squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. Let's get rid of that. I have two values where, by the way, do you notice, let's just say equals y. Do you notice that my values, it's like symmetric. It's right on minus 2 and 2. And it's like do you notice that this is like a difference of squares? Take note that that's like a difference of squares. And what that means is, like, do you remember when it's a difference of squares? Let's see if I can get a notebook. A notepad. Yeah, there's my notebook. X squared minus 4 equals, let's say 0, okay? And we're solving for that. We're solving for our roots. So x minus 4, whoops. X minus the square root of 4, which is x minus 2, x plus 2 equals 0. And you notice that for this entire thing to be 0, this has to be 0, or this has to be 0, which means that this has to be equal to 2. 2 minus 2 is 0, or this has to be equal to minus 2. And it's exactly what we got over here. X equal to minus 2 or x is equal to 2. Anyway, this is just adding the factoring part that we talked about earlier. Let's do the next question. It's x squared minus x minus 2. X squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Let's get rid of that. Whoa, equals y, I should say. What does that mean? We have a root at minus 1 and 2. And now I'm just going to relate it to the next unit a little bit. You can fast forward if you want. But if you want to learn the next unit as well, while doing the homework. Oh, yeah. Is this factorable? X squared minus x minus 2. X squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Can I factor this? What two numbers can I multiply, product, minus 2, and sum to minus 1? Well, the answer is, what two numbers? 1 and minus 2, or 2 and minus 1. Which one sums to minus 1? Well, this one does. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So that means I can rewrite this as x plus 1, x minus 2 equals 0. And in order for that to be 0, x has to be equal to 2. And in order for that to be 0, x must be equal to 1. And either one could be the case. Let's go back to our graph. 1 and 2. Or sorry, minus 1, right? In order for this to be 0, that has to be minus 1 plus 1. So minus 1 and 2. And when we look here, our value's at minus 1 and 2. So 2 ways to solve the same question. All right, next question. E minus x minus 1. Let's take a look at that. Minus x minus 1. Minus x squared minus 1, I think. Yeah. Minus x squared minus 1. Here we go. No solution. Y will never equal to 0. Let's look at why that's the case. Now, first, if you remember in class, where are we? Minus x squared minus 1. This will never equal 0. We'll always take away. Can this ever equal to 1? Can that ever equal to 1? No. This can never be anything but negative. Look, x squared, always positive. That's always positive. Whoops, positive. Sorry, let's rewrite that. That's not true. X squared will always be positive. And if x is negative, x squared will be positive. And then multiplying a negative to a positive will always be negative. So a negative number, take away 1, will always be, the whole thing will always be negative. Right? That's just a little bit of logic. You don't even have to pay attention to that. I just thought it'd be a nice side note. Now, let's take a look at it again. I have minus x squared minus 1 equals 0. Remember what we said? When the a value and the k value are both the same side, we won't have 0 solution. 0 solution. And it makes sense. Even when we graphed it, we saw the same thing happen. Let's try this. Minus 2 equals x minus x squared. Minus 2 equals x minus x squared. Let's try that. Or let's rewrite that. Minus 2 equals x minus x squared. Or we move this 2 to that side, right? And we end up with x minus x squared plus 2. Let's rearrange this. 0 equals minus x squared plus x plus 2. Okay, let's take a look at how this is going to look when we graph it. Minus x squared plus x plus 2 plus x plus 2. And we have 2 values here. We have minus 1 and 2. Let's try factoring it. This is a little bit extra. This is our next chapter, so I don't mind going over it. And equal y. Minus 1 and 2. Let's see what happens when we try factoring. Well, first let's multiply both sides by minus 1, right? So that means switch the signs of everything. 0 stays the same, right? And that becomes x squared minus x minus 2. And I only did that to get rid of the coefficient here. I don't want a coefficient. And we ask ourselves what 2 numbers multiply to 2 and add to minus 1. Minus 1 and multiply to minus 2. Well, only 2 numbers, 2 possibilities. 1 and minus 2, minus 2 and 1. Which one gives minus 1? Well, that's easy. That one. Minus 2 plus 1. So actually this becomes, right? And we take these 2 values, minus 2 and plus 1. So when is this 0? When x equals minus 1. When is this 0? When x equals 2. So that's how I solve it. Let's look at how that corresponds to our graph. Does x equal 2 and x equal minus 1? X equals minus 1, X equals 2. It all works out. Let's do one last question that I assigned you. X plus 3 equals minus X. Let's see how that works. X plus 3 equals minus X. Let's take a look at the question again. I think I got that wrong. Minus X squared. All right, let's just dump this over to that side. So that becomes X squared plus X plus 3. And I'm just going to do this by factoring, because we all know how to factor anyway. And it's our next day's homework anyway. So, and I'll graph this later, right? I'll graph y equals x squared plus x plus 3. But for the time being, I have a product that gives me 3 and a sum of 1. Well, that's easy. Oh. Is there a different... Did I make a mistake here? Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to work. 3 and 1. But can I get 1 here? No, I can't. I cannot get 1 here. So I can't even factor it. Let's try completing the square. X squared plus x divided by 2 and square plus a quarter minus a quarter, right? So for those of you who want to see, this value is 1, right? There's 1 over 2 squared. That's equal to 1 squared over 2 squared, which is equal to 1 over 4. That's why I did that, plus 3. Let's get rid of that for now. Which makes it equal to x plus a half squared plus 2 and 3/4, right? That's just 3 minus a quarter. So there's 2 and 3/4. So what does that mean? That means pushed up and it's right side up. So it's somewhere over here. There's not going to be a solution. No solution. And if we draw it, x squared plus x plus 3, or x plus 3, x squared plus x plus 3, there is no solution here.